Well, hi, I'm Robert Knoll. We're on an interval blues mission. Okay, well, continuing on here, look, you have your root. We're in the key of A. We're basing everything around a form 2 area of all different scales because we're using the chromatic 12-tone scale. So we're using double octave, 12-tone chromatic scales. So far, we've done a minor second, we've done a major second, we've looked at the blues of the minor third, and even the blues of the major third. What about the perfect fourth? Well, if you look at my chromatic scale chart, you'll see I call the fourth a psychedelic tone. To me, when I use that in a chord, like I've got an A7 and I bring in that fourth, you know, or if I'm using minor and I've got that fourth becomes what we call an 11. Suspended because we're not implying that the chord has a minor or major third, so it's either or. The fourth is suspended. It hangs out there. When it hangs out there, it picks up that psychedelic thing of all the intervals. It can go anywhere. It can blend. It's really versatile. So I love the perfect fourth interval. I like them all, okay? But what do we do with the blues? Well, it's part of the blues because when you're playing basic blues progressions, the 1, 4, 5 chord. 1 chord is your A, the 4 chord's your D, built on the perfect fourth. And your 5 chord's built on a perfect fifth. But that perfect fourth, a lot of songs that just go 1 chord to 4 chord. One, it can be the whole song, right? But that fourth, what do I do in the blues? The interval of a fourth has that oriental sound. The oriental. But now I take that fourth and it's in the blues. Guys use it. The Chuck Berry, bending it a whole step. I think all blues players use that fourth. Even Albert Collins, he would use that, and you could slide the fourth. But listen to the vibrato I'm doing. Minute nuances. If I'm doing a slow blues and I just don't want to hit a fourth and do nothing with it. Cry the fourth. That's a nuance. It's a micro bend. Crying. I can bend up in increments. I could start up. I can cry the fourth. Wow. Gets me sad to play it. Just a... So I'm playing my blues. I'm using that fourth, and I like to throw it in blues. I throw it in my progressions because it gives that other color that other people don't use. They don't use it. The Rolling Stones used it, A lot of groups got into that sound of that sus4, but there's sus2s and sus9s. We'll talk about those later. But anyways, getting in and listening to your fourth. 1, 2, 3, 4 for the major scale. Bum, bum. Let's do this. Just hangs there. The perfect fourth. What a great interval. It's so versatile, so many things you can do with it. But when blues players do it, they just use it as a riff. Not many of them soak it. I call soaking it, the vibrato, the nuances, crying the bends, taking it up a whole step and making it cry. You know, from a fifth, you bend it to a fifth and let it cry down to the fourth. And anywhere you find your fourth, even up here when you're way up high, it can be crying in different voicing, female voices. The children, the baby voices, the kids, the little girl voices, the adult voices. Area where you play your voicings in can have that effect. Very important. I call it a psychedelic tone. It can do a lot of things. It's very, very useful. It's neglected. It's part of a lot of the scales, your major scale, your minor scale, your blues scale, your pentatonic scales. You have a perfect fourth going on all the time. Your dominant seven scales. It's there. Let's know what it is, know where it is when you're jamming, and know that, hey, perfect fourth can be usable. We can do things with it. I know what BB does with it. I know what Albert King does with it. Albert Collins, you know, Freddie King, these great bluesmen. So when you discover what they do, then you go, well, I can do what they do, but maybe I can do something. Oh, Robert said that or nuances, you know. You'll experiment and you'll find new ways to express your emotions into the perfect fourth. P4, people for creativity, people for love, people for understanding, people for mindfulness. The perfect fourth.